Unlike Harmony, the hate version, Jade's hate scythe, it's not really hate, but it's a scythe, just like Stalker's. This is the Cantare, Jade's version of despair, which is great because just absolutely love this. If you miss, the blades lodge into the battlefield. When you reload, they will come back to you. To get the blueprint, you have to see Ordis on the Larunda relay after completing the Jade Shadows mission, and the only special item it kind of needs to build this is Argon crystals. 1,600 ferrite, 1,400 circuits, 600 polymer bundles. They're easy. So are Argon crystals, but it does need 4 of them, so they will probably have expired, so you need to go grab them. Oh, these are the ones I'm looking forward to the most from this. Mastery rank 10 be damned. It does actually appear when searching for despair. Don't think this is a bug. I'm hoping it's not a bug. But hopefully that stays. I like that touch. It's possibly accidental, but still a nice touch. As you can see, damage-wise, not a great deal between the two, really. We're talking about something that has no impact, does less puncture, does more slash, a lot more slash, has more crit, status, crit multiplier, bit more punch through. That's hopefully so when it goes through them, it can come back and deal secondary damage to them. A smaller magazine, and a much longer reload speed. And 2v polarities, with the unique trait of the blades have 300% crit chance when they return. So when you reload, 300% crit chance on them returning. Red crits, guaranteed. Crit build these. It's kind of going to be a must. And status. We'll get to that. Strike enemies when returning blades, to activate Cantare Chirol, a buff that increases reload speed by 20% for allies. I'm a little bit torn on this one. I was expecting more, but that smaller magazine, that's easily kind of countered. But to be fair, if you're going to put any mods in there, kind of has to be these two. And luckily enough, there's 2 Vs that have been added here, so they can go in, and 58.4% crit chance is kind of nothing. 4.2 times multiplier, however, that is what's going to save this thing. And come on, what can really other be said about this? The blades have a 300% crit chance when they return to you. So these you kind of want to purposely miss an enemy and then line yourself up, so when they come back to you, it does a lot more crit chance. If you can activate the buff and increase the reload speed by 20, these things are actually quite vicious. Out of her 3 weapons, I want to say this is probably my favourite. If Harmony didn't exist, that is. I think I prefer Harmony, but it all depends upon what you're doing as to which one is actually better. But just being able to throw it, its accuracy is actually pretty decent. You can purposely just miss enemies, but if you are hitting enemies, aiming at enemies, and happen to miss, it doesn't matter, because all you have to do is reload, and on its way back, instead of doing 51.7% crit chance, it'll basically do 351.7% crit chance. Because one of the better ways to actually set this thing up is, sadly, Primed Pistol Gambit, Primed Target Cracker for crit chance and crit damage. Because the Umbral mods, or sacrificial mods, we have been waiting for anything other than melee for years, still doesn't quite exist yet. But, damn, just these 2 mods alone with the 51.7%. When it returns and you get the 300% crit chance, that's 351% crit chance, it's pretty much a guaranteed 4.2 times damage. So the rest of this I just threw the 4 dual stat elemental mods on, depending upon who you are going up against. I think I was going up against Corpus with this because it has magnetic on it, and then just Hornet Strike, bit of galvanized diffusion for a guaranteed multi-shot because it is over 100, which, as it says, multi-shot is 2.1 because it's 110%, and it also has the 30% multi-shot that stacks for 20 seconds. Sorry, somebody's going to pull me on that one. The 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds that stacks up to 4 times, which can be an extra third or possibly even fourth shot from these, meaning when it's coming back, yeah. This thing is more lethal returning to you than it is when you throw them out. Yes, I had lethal momentum on these as well because it increases the projectile speed. Throwing weapons have a slow projectile speed. It is the biggest downside to these things. Having lethal momentum on there helps a lot because you're able to throw them and actually hit what you're aiming at because they haven't ran off, because you've got to aim where they are going to be, not where they are. And just having that on there, you don't have to kind of future aim them, and it makes it slightly better. It also means when returning, this also kind of takes effect, which made these things even better some more. Yes, the Cantare is a little bit annoying to get a hold of because of where they are. Normal, and I'm going to stress this one, normal Ascension missions do have a chance of dropping the blueprint for these, apparently. Otherwise, you can just buy them using 300 vestigial motes that you get from doing those same missions. So while farming for Jade and the other weapons, you're going to end up with most of these before you have enough motes to actually be able to kind of buy these anyway. Which is great because you're going to end up with most of these parts. But it is a little bit grindy, yes. It is also a little bit annoying if you do have to come here and use 300 vestigial motes to actually pick them up. Yes. But it's worth it, and this is one throwing weapon. It may not explode when you throw it. It may not explode on return. But the crit damage makes these things more than worth it. And with that, we're going to leave this off. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.